Welcome back to the New Blood Championships. We're 3 heats down and 3 heats to go before the grand finals. So let's just jump straight into the battle boards before we get the fight started. Today is the heats. We see the Steel Avenger going up against the Spinning Blade of Flower Bed Counter Revolution, 2 spinners up against the Flipper of Wheel and Big Cheese, Bullfrog up against the Seesaw Machine of Buzzy Bee, and then the Flipper of Silver Space up against the Spinner Super Heavyweight Chinook. The Steel Avenger Axebot. A newbie machine with a body shell consisting of aluminium, stainless steel and polycarbonate, and carrying a spiked axe to penetrate through the armors of its competitors. The fast drive will help it catch up to the opposition, but the high ground clearance could be taken advantage of, and I don't know if they can self-right or not. Flower Bed Spinner. Well, it's definitely the most prettiest machine of the competition, but that doesn't mean dangerous or deadly. The undercutter blade is very strong when it makes contact to its target, but the machine's build is not very strong, and the wheels are the weakest spot on board.
Robot ears, stand by.
The Steel Avenger with the big axe. And Flower Bed, the prettiest machine in the series, with the underbar.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
And it's also a very quick machine, Flower Bed. So is Steel Avenger, and Flower Bed up and over now, so not much of an overhead weapon now. Is the drive for Steel Avenger okay? I don't know, is it? Probably not from all those hits. And speaking of hits, I think that one hit just killed it. There's no movement from the Steel Avenger as they're flung up and over by the floor flipper. I think the ties have been completely detached, and so's the axe as they're flung through the air. Look at this. They're on the floor flipper. A rather pathetic flip, it has to be said, by the floor flipper. And then in goes Flower Bed, and there, off comes the axe, and through the air goes the Steel Avenger. There's another piece there just spinning around on the floor. I think that's off the Steel Avenger as well. Poor Steel Avenger, they've been battered within seconds. The fight's not even... Flower Bed was meant to get a fight. This was a massacre. This was a slaughter fest. That's what this is, as the Steel Avenger is now being counted out and immobilized, and Flower Bed very convincingly going through as Flower Bed runs into the wall stupidly, and again, and now they're stopped. Cease is called. And that was a very convincing win by Flower Bed. Poor Steel Avenger, so much problems, and then battered and bruised and beaten. Next up, Counter Revolution and Wheelie Big Cheese. Counter Revolution Spinner. 2 spinning blades, one at either end with a self-righting mechanism attached to the side to throw the machine back over when it's flipped. The team said that it was built to be very maneuverable, but the armor is not very strong, and that might come back to haunt them. Wheelie Big Cheese Flipper. We've had many flippers into the series, but this one is without a doubt the biggest in the competition. The flipper and wheels are both made from welded titanium, with the flipper holding enough power to throw a mini Metro, which weighs 600 kilograms. So that's some serious power in the flipper, but the exposed wheels might prove to be a problem for Roger Plants and this machine.
Robot ears, stand by.
Counter Revolution with the 2 spinning flywheel blade and the Streamac, and Wheelie Big Cheese with the biggest flipper ever seen in robot combat.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Who will win? Well, probably not Wheelie Big Cheese after that. They've thrown themselves over already. But now Wheelie Big Cheese underneath Counter Revolution, not doing much. The blades don't seem to be doing much either. They're just glancing off the body shell and the wheels. They could be doing internal damage. Probably won't know until later, but... Oh, counter-revolution now, causing them problems! Now, oh, jeez, might want to fix that blade. And now, counter-revolution up and over. They're back on their wheels now, and Wheelie Big Cheese... Interestingly, they're not firing the weapon, they're not throwing them up and over, but there's counter-revolution now, up and over, and they are in trouble. Will we get to see that interesting self-righting mechanism? Yes, we will. It's an interesting stream mech. I've not seen one like it before. Look at this. There goes the lifter. That's its stream mech, and it's thrown them back onto their wheels. That's very interesting. It's an interesting... Get away from the pitch! Good grief, Wheelie Big Cheese. You nearly threw yourselves down there. It's an interesting self-righting mechanism system. I've not seen one quite like it. And it definitely seems quite effective. Now, counter-revolution striking against the wheels, which they had great opportunity to do as Wheelie Big Cheese got themselves stuck against the arena floor flipper. And now, counter-revolution... This is brilliant. Now Wheelie Big Cheese gets a flip on counter-revolution. But there, counter-revolution self-rights properly this time. No help from Wheelie Big Cheese. There's the flip, throwing them onto the side. They flip themselves too. But again, the lifter throws them back and then retracts. I don't think I've ever seen a self-righting mechanism work like that before. Wheelie Big Cheese trying... You know what? I don't think Wheelie Big Cheese is exactly having a great time here. They're not really able to get in a good attack. Counter-revolution, on the other hand, is, and they are definitely doing damage to Wheelie Big Cheese. Whether it's effective damage, who knows? It'll probably be effective in the long run. But this is great. This is a brilliant fight. And this could, you know what, go to the judges. And if it does go to the judges, they'll be marking on style, control, damage, and aggression. This is really, really good. I think this is probably, so far, the longest lasting battle in this little competition, the New Blood Championships. Wheelie Big Cheese, again, throwing counter-revolution, not really doing much to them, and now they're stuck on the side, and counter-revolution can take advantage and use those big blades to do some major damage to the body shell, and probably knock out some electronics, or probably damage them. Wheelie Big Cheese, is there a problem? Have they been ground to a halt here? Who knows? No, they're okay. He says they're okay, as they get blasted by another one of the blades of counter-revolution. If this were to go to the judges, I'd have to side with counter-revolution just because of how aggressive they're being, as well as how aggressive the blades are. And they're constantly coming in on the attack. Meanwhile, Wheelie Big Cheese seems to be getting stuck on all the obstacles, getting stuck on the grids, they're getting stuck on the flames, they're getting stuck on the floor flipper. But look at this here. Oof. They didn't even have to flip counter-revolution, but counter-revolution quickly rights themselves. They're really quick to the self-righting mechanism, counter-revolution. It's an interesting design. I hope counter-revolution does make a comeback for Series 3. And right now, they are definitely, in my opinion, dominating. Is one of those blades, however, slowly... Are both blades slowly moving? I'm not sure if the blades are being as effective as they were before. One seems to be spinning faster than the other. But there's no damage, no sparks. So maybe they've lost their juice. Flipped again, righted. And we're getting very close. There's 20 seconds left of this fight. And Wheelie Big Cheese trying to finish the stronger of the two, quite clearly. And now Wheelie Big Cheese. Oh! Now, that's interesting. Well, down goes counter-revolution into the pit. Oh, poor counter-revolution. Oh, that's unfortunate for them. And if they'd have been able to avoid the pit, they actually would have won if it went to the judges, but they crash out, sadly, just to the death. Bullfrog Buzzy B next up.
Bullfrog Flipper.
low wedge with a gas-powered flipper armored in Hardox with a two-wheel drive system. The gas-powered flipper will help them throw enemies over and get themselves back into the fight if flipped, but the exposed wheels might prove to be an issue. Buzzy Bee, Rambot. A very big machine that can drive both ways up and attack with the wedges at either end. The ground clearance is variable as the machine's built like a seesaw, which may prove to be a tricky bot to knock out, as well as tricky for the team to be able to do anything effective.
Roboteers, stand by.
Bullfrog with the CO2 powered flipper, and Buzzy Bee with the seesaw design.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Was surprisingly effective in the main competition, even though it got itself stuck. And Bullfrog able to use it to their advantage and nearly threw themselves down the pit. They'll have to be careful of that. But they have a CO2 flipper, and they can use the seesaw design to their advantage by throwing themselves up the top and pinning themselves against the wall. That's not what I meant, guys. And now Buzzy Bee driving in to Bullfrog, trying to hold them there. You cannot do that. We already had Jabberwocky do that to the Structatron earlier in this competition. They're free now. And that's what I meant. Bullfrog can get underneath. I was about to say, they can get underneath, and then Buzzy Bee drives away and slides themselves into the pit. What was that about? Well, now Buzzy Bee, stuck in the pit further, Bullfrog gets him out and switches places with them. This fight's gone hectic all too quickly. Oh, great. And now Bullfrog stuck in the pit and nearly getting themselves out of the pit. Now, if they can get themselves out of the pit, that'll definitely be incredible. And it is. They've gotten themselves free. Well done, Bullfrog. And now to get underneath Buzzy Bee and throw them against the wall, to throw them out the arena. Not enough. And I'm wondering if Bullfrog even has enough CO2. They do. And out they go. Over and out goes Buzzy Bee. That's the end of that. Bullfrog through. Well done, Bullfrog. I thought Buzzy Bee could have had this if Bullfrog got fully stuck there. But they've successfully gotten themselves free and thrown themselves out. And Buzzy Bee has now immobilized themselves outside the arena. Well done. But what a good fight that was. Well done to Bullfrog. They go through. Commiserations to Buzzy Bee. Next up, Silver Space and Chinook. Silver Space Flipper. A very strong CO2 powered flipper to throw the opposition into orbit, and a rear swinging spiked tail to add a bit of extra damage and level of protection. Like many flippers in the competition, the gas supply is limited and the wheels are also exposed. And apparently they used actual UFO parts to build this machine. Huh, I didn't realize you could buy a crashed alien vessel off Craigslist. Chinook Spinner. A very long robot with two big, deadly flywheels with the power to drive both ways up. The machine is also very quick to prevent it from getting flipped, but with a similar weapon set up to 13 Black from Last Wars, the blades might throw themselves up into the air.
Roboteers, stand by.
Silver Space with the CO2 flipper and their swinging tail, and Chinook with the two spinning flywheels.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Who will come out on top? Is Chinook even moving? Yes, they are. And now Chinook straight away into the side of Silver Space, who's stuck on the spikes and spun away. And I think Chinook's ripped away the wheels to Silver Space almost right from the start within the first few seconds. And I think they've already immobilized Silver Space. There's no movement. The flipper may work, yes, but that's about it. There's no life, no real movement. That's the quickest immobilization, I think. Silver Space's spike stuck and the flipper's gone. Look at this. They had nothing to do. Look at this. They flipped the flipper off. It's gone now. They have no real weapon as their spiked tail is still stuck in the body shell of Chinook. It's gone now. Oh, poor Silver Spectre. Flung away. Good grief, this is lethal. Look at this. There, bang. Skidding across the floor. They slingshot across the floor. And slingshot away again. This is brutal. This is lethal. This is the most destruction I think we've seen all of Series 2. There's nothing really left. There's nothing really left of Silver Space. There's like... It's like a carcass at this point. Chinook having a bit of fun at Silver Space is in agony. I think they're laughing in the cockpit. I don't blame... This is your machine that's been ripped apart. You shouldn't be laughing, you should be crying. This is brutal. Oh no, Chinook now caught on the edge of the pit. Can they get away? Yes, just about. And now down goes Silver Space as they drive over the head. That was the most brutal I think we've seen all series. That's the type of destruction we love to see on Robot Wars. Well done, Chinook. They go through. Now look at this here. Wheelie Big Cheese. They were to go through to the second round, but they took way too much damage. I'm hearing from the pitch from Counter Revolution. They've had to pull out. They are gone. Counter Revolution's back in the fight. So this is how round 2 looks. Flowerbed against Chinook later. But first up, Counter Revolution, second bite at the cherry. Up against the flipping madness of Bullfrog.
Roboteers, stand by.
Counter Revolution with the 2 flywheels. And Bullfrog with the CO2 flipper.
3, 2, 1.
I think Counter Revolution's kind of lucky to be here after what happened before against Wheelie Big Cheese. They had to come in because Wheelie Big Cheese could not repair themselves in time, but now, look at this, Bullfrog holding the lethal Counter Revolution and throwing them out the arena, and that was a very quick victory there for Bullfrog. Out goes Counter Revolution as Bullfrog throws himself up and over and self-rights. What are you doing? Stop running around into the walls, you idiot. A very quick... It's a leapfrog. A very quick victory, however, for Bullfrog. Out goes Counter Revolution. Bullfrog, Heat Finals. Very quick and easy. Second bite of the cherry. Probably wasn't worth it, was it, Counter Revolution? You're out, Bullfrog through. Next up, 2 spinners, Flowerbed and Chinook.
Roboteers, stand by.
Flowerbed with the undercutting spinning bar, and Chinook with the 2 lethal flywheels, which tore apart Silver Space.
3, 2, 1.
I am still reeling from that. Flowerbed losing both of its front wheels, and a third, and soon to lose a fourth. Yep, done that. So now what? Well, now to cosmetics to burn, and there's, speaking of burning, there's fire, and Flowerbed's up and over. But I don't think that fire is from Flowerbed. It's not. It's from Chinook. Chinook's on fire. Well, that's something I was not expecting. No, that down the pit and out. Well, Flowerbed. I'm surprised at that. Look at this. Flowerbed lures Chinook towards the pit. They hit the lip and down they go. And Flowerbed spins in celebration as they progress to the Heat Final to join Bullfrog. That I did not expect. Well. That's definitely a turnip for the books. I thought Chinook was going to go through here, but no, it's Flower Bed. They go through to the heat final to join the flipper of Bullfrog. Who will win in this flipper spinner affair? Bullfrog and Flower Bed, our two heat finalists. Let's see how they got here. Bullfrog took on Buzzy Bee. Flip, flung. This was their only real scare. Got stuck on their backside, but came back, got them against the wall, and threw them over and out. And then a box rush on Counter Revolution, got them up and over, pinned them with their flipper as well, and Counter Revolution couldn't do anything to counter that. They couldn't get away, and then one flip later, and over and out went Counter Revolution. They were gone. Flower Bed, meanwhile, took on the Steel Avenger. That was the killer blow there. They were immobilized and destroyed, and then Flower Bed just decided, yeah, let's rip them apart a little bit more. Didn't really need to, but they had. And then Chinook, the surprise fight actually, they lost the main wheel parts. They could still drive, but they then did major damage to Chinook, caught them on fire, and then their real surprise, luring them towards the pit, and down and out went Chinook.
Robot ears, stand by.
Bullfrog with the CO2 powered flipper, Flower Bed with the undercutter spinning bar.
3, 2, 1.
This is for a place in the New Blood Championship Grand Finals, and already I think Flower Bed may just be a bit on top here, and nearly got flung into the pit by Bullfrog, and Bullfrog now nearly flinging themselves into the pit, but still on the attack, still attacking and trying to stop that spinning blade of Flower Bed from doing any real damage. And now both of them stuck. And well, if there was a bit more power in that, Flower Bed could have gone out the arena, but there wasn't. And now the teeth on the top of the flipper for Bullfrog have been smashed off. And I'm wondering if there's any life in Bullfrog. There's a flip. The flipper's working, but is the drive? I don't think so. I don't think there's any mobility, and that's a real shame and a real problem. And I think that was the tire that just came off of Bullfrog, flung through the air as well by an undercutter. How does that happen? Well, it happened. And now Bullfrog being shredded by the spinning blade of Flower Bed, and a will-be Flower Bed going through to the grand finals as it flings Bullfrog away. And that is such a shame. Bullfrog had started so strongly, but this is as far as they go, and it's Flower Bed who will be heading through. What went wrong for Bullfrog? Was there something wrong with the batteries? Did they not fully charge them in time? Who knows? But they are immobilized. Bullfrog, they are out. They've been counted out. And it's Flower Bed who goes through to the grand finals. Well done, Flower Bed. They'll be joining... Did you seriously just drive into the pit? Well, Flower Bed through nonetheless. That's one way of ending a heat, isn't it? Driving yourselves into the pit. The Bullfrog got lost in the flowers of Flower Bed and crashed out in the heat final as Flower Bed progressed through to the grand finals. And with the dangerous blade, they could very much win it. But until then, take care, and I'll see you next time. Farewell.